Welcome. Welcome to Yoga Between Breaths, where we're exploring the wisdom of yoga beyond the mat. It's not just about the yoga. It's not about the asanas. It's not about the stretching. It's more than that. So, this is where we're going to have deeper conversations about yoga. I'm Tanys Coughlan from Twilla Lifestyle Community, Twilla Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by Jacqueline Richards, our wealthy yogini. She is our lead yoga instructor at the school. And today we're going to talk about, what are we talking about today? We are talking about the nervous system.
Absolutely. We're talking about the nervous system. Oh,
yoga and the nervous system. So, Jacqueline, what happens in the nervous system during yoga?
Wow. And I appreciate there's so much that happens in the yoga system, in the body when you're working with and dealing with, considering the nervous system. Every day, I'll start with every day I wake up out of bed. Hopefully I slept really well, because my nervous system needs me to be relaxed. I will take that beautiful deep breath. I will lift my shoulders. I will take them back and I'll release them down. And as I exhale, I understand that a slow, steady breath is going to send signals of safety to my brain. And that's through the vagus nerve. And this helps the body, as I just said to you, truly understands the sympathetic nervous system and how it's going to respond to fight or flight, and some say fawn. There's that third one that we take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
And when you decide to consider that, instead, yoga activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So we've got the fight flight. So we've got the sympathetic, and then we have the parasympathetic system, which is actually our rest and digest mode. So after you've had that beautiful 3-course dinner, and now you think it's time to head to bed, you will want to take a moment and allow yourself at least an hour before you go to bed. Allow the body to say, it's time for me to digest. It's time for you to be gentle with me. It's time for you to be mindful of the movement to help me, the body, release and let go. You know, when we're thinking about the system, the nervous system, it releases the the chronic muscular system. What is the matter with me today? I think my systems are like bing, 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 bing. So it's about the chronic muscle tension that we hold in maybe our hips, our shoulders. I've been massaging my shoulders all day. Why? That's what I need to ask myself about. Why am I massaging my shoulders? Actually, I know, because I was doing headstands late at night when I should have been simply digesting
and resting.
Exactly. And so I forgot to take a breath. I forgot to observe what my body needed and wanted. My nervous system told me exactly what was going on when it said, your shoulders, your neck isn't feeling all that great. Allow the system to begin to regulate more effectively, more efficiently. Those two are great words to continue to use in yoga. 365 days with us as we continue to talk about lowering levels of stress. As we continue to talk about lowering amounts of stress, not just at work, but at home. Stress when you're driving your car. Where's the money?
Yeah.
Take a moment and understand that what yoga does for you is allow you to be resilient. That's a great R word. Write it down. be resilient.
Yeah, because we can definitely, when we're under stress, we create more cortisol, right? That stress hormone, and that can run rampant.
Absolutely, it can. Thank you. Tanys suggested that we need to run a little more, maybe not stop running rampant, do run
Well,
rampant.
depends on what you mean by that. But I think the hormones, if they're running rampant, that can be an issue.
Absolutely. And so then, Tanys, here's a question, because you went there, you said it. Why,
Mm-hmm.
why does a calmer nervous system support deeper awareness in your yoga practice, in my yoga practice, in the collective yoga practice? Why does calming this nervous system support?
Well, when you're safe, you're calm, you're feeling safe, then you're more open and receptive, right? To new ideas, to new practices. When we're
Yeah.
open and receptive or open and curious,
Oh, I
as
like
our
that.
friend Jen always says, um, it just allows us to really just be, how do I want to say this? We can open ourselves up to a much higher state of being, a state of consciousness, which is allowing us to be in a state of well-being. So the higher we keep our vibration, right, the more we can become naturally open and receptive to all the good stuff. So we can be more receptive to abundance, the frequency of abundance. We can be more receptive to um, relationships in various forms, right? So it just strengthens the emotional resilience, as you were saying, right? And sometimes in states of stress, the mind is focused on that survival and protection, and that really limits our ability to reflect and observe and to attract what we want to attract. So when we can calm the nervous system down, we can focus more. We can
Okay.
be in the current moment. So that also helps for that overall well-being. It can settle us, right?
That's a great S word. Settle.
Mm-hmm. And that helps us, of course, to gain more access to curiosity, self-awareness. We can do more of that insight into, okay, why am I reacting this way? So when we're open and
Oh,
curious, we can ask ourselves the 5 whys, like I often do with my clients. So it allows us to sit in that calm space
okay.
and in that calm space we can, do some reflection. We can gain more insight into why we feel the way we are. We can get clarity. Uh, we can talk to our
Mm,
guides and get clarity, or we can just have that peace of mind, right?
yeah.
Calming the emotions allows us clarity because that whole frontal lobe of the brain shuts off when we're in fight or flight.
Yeah.
So we don't make good decisions because, the body's sending all the blood to the extremities so we can run. Instead, if we're in a calm state, we can use those parts of our brain that we might
Yeah.
not be able to use otherwise, and it can bring clarity as well as that emotional clarity, right? Because we're calm, our emotions are more calm. So yoga can also help us really to create an environment where we observe our thoughts,
Yeah.
feel our feelings, feel the feels, right? Notice any patterns that we might be in, whether it's behavior patterns, or thought patterns, those kinds of things. And we can do it in a state of calm and hopefully stay out of that self judgment, right? As well as judgment
Very much so.
for others
Absolutely.
in our lives. So sitting in that non judgment, I'm having this emotion. I'm having a feeling of sadness. Why?
Exactly.
Why is
Why?
that?
Exactly. Why has it arrived? Why has it arrived?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we can't look at those and do that self reflection if we're in a state of activation, really, when the nervous state is activated. So that's why, it's not just about the movement. It's about self-study. It's about presence, right? The great work is know thyself. And we can only do that when we're in a calm state so that we can do the self-reflection. If we're tense all the time, we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about the tension. We're thinking about what we have to do in our day. We have all of that stuff. But yoga, it gives us a tool so that we can actually go inside. We can calm ourselves, go inside, come back to our heart space, right? And actually sit in that. Okay. What is it? What is it that we need? What does our body need? What does our mind need? What do our emotions need? What does our energy need, or our spirit? When we have that time to be open and curious, that's when we can do that.
Yeah.
And so yoga allows us to do that when we step into that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes all you need is your Siddhasana.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in our course.
Mm-hmm. So if you're curious about exploring these ideas more deeply, Tola Lifestyle Academy is offering a 200-hour yoga instructor training. We are registered with the Yoga Alliance, and that's where we can explore all of this and more, because there's so much more in the philosophies, in the all the ethics and all of that stuff, the 8 limbs of yoga. So stay tuned and then come and join us. We'd love to have you. We're also we're building a schedule as well right now for mini yoga classes. There's lots of different ones coming through with different teachers. So stay tuned for that as well. And we look forward to seeing you soon. As we take a deep breath in through our nose, out through our mouth. And we say namaste. Until next time.
Namaste.